As you can see, I have a very special guest with me this morning, Michael Miller. Hi, Mike. How are you this morning?
Good. How are you doing, my friend?
So good to see you. I'm doing great. I'm so happy you decided to join me today. Um, I have run across you in very many different places for many years. But I know that not too long ago, you came out and helped volunteer for our Easter egg, well, it's supposed to be an Easter egg hunt there in Schiller Park, the Southeast Lions. And if you remember that, that was really cool of you. And I had posted something on Facebook, and you came out, and you are just like an Uber volunteer all over the place, helping the community from here in Central Ohio, Grove City, born and raised, but just been around Pride for a long time. And I kind of put in the title, Mr. Pride. I think you've just been so ubiquitous with Pride. So I really appreciate you uh, sharing your values and superpower with us today. And I'm going to go ahead and we made a little slide with some beautiful photographs. I'm going to go ahead and let you share those. You ready to do that?
I sure am. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Okay. It's all yours, my friend.
Alrighty. So I just want to say, I think the history of this the stuff that I have done over the years, collecting history, making sure that our history is well kept, because I feel like sometimes people in our community tend to forget about the history. They need to know that the history, the, the whole gay rights movement and everything, we just need to come together. And it just, to me, I think we need to keep those valuable things. We need to keep, the, like, I don't know, like buttons, pens, or whatnot, or, anything valuable in our community. It just, to me, I think we just need to come together and just collect those and hang on to those things, because it's just, to me, we need to keep that, and especially in the Ohio Gay History Museum. Like, it's stuff that we need to hang on to and make sure that we hang on to that part of history. I think one of the things that I had on there was, uh, I think, I can't see my slideshow on here, so I think it was history and um, history and let's see, I think it was history.
Yeah. So, Mike, it says history, commitment, supporting, and risk taking.
Okay, I'll go into risk taking and let me know. I'm sorry, I don't see it on my part. So,
That's
um,
okay.
uh, the risk taking of the part was, so back in 2013. I obviously I've been going to a lot of prides around Ohio. Um, I'm sorry, Columbus prides around Columbus over the years, from gosh, since 2005 to 2019, because obviously we didn't have no pride last year, but I've been going to those ever since. But back in 2013, I started branching out a little bit. I went to um, Pittsburgh's event, and I went there from 2013 to 2018, and I found it very cool that I got to experience that. But then I said to myself, man, it would be nice to kind of see what goes on in my state instead of going to another state that I don't live in. But it would be kind of cool to see other prides in Ohio. I'm just like, okay, cool. So I did it. My first out of uh, Columbus in Ohio was Dayton. I loved seeing that. But then the next week after that, then I went to, and this was back in 2017 is when I started doing this. And I said to myself, I'm like, shoot, this would be pretty cool to see other ones too. So long story short, I started going to other ones in Ohio, and including that year, the inaugural Akron Pride that they had in Ohio, and that was pretty cool to see. Um, it was good to be a part of that. and it and then after that, from 18 and 19, 2018, I got to see my inaugural Newark Pride. That was pretty cool, and then other prides from there on. And then I think it was in 2019. I just went to a lot of prides that time too. I can't name them all because I know we only have so much time here, but it just, to me, I think it was pretty cool to see how Ohio has come together. It just, and especially the smaller towns, it just, to me, it gets me. It's like, wow, I'm happy to see smaller towns come together for the LGBTQ community. It's wonderful.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And what was one of the things that, so I covered, was that risk taking,
and you've got history, commitment, and supporting.
history, and supporting. So the supporting part was that, so back in 2010, I volunteered for Stonewall Columbus as a picking up phones and helping out people to community outlets and everything in Columbus. So what I did was, the director at the time, Carla Rothen, came to me, and I asked her, I said, "Can I march with Stonewall that year?" And she said, "Sure, and why not?" And then she had this idea that hold their banner for Stonewall Columbus, because at the time they didn't have a lot of people doing that, so we had to get the okay and everything from Linda Schuler. That she came to me, and I said, "Yeah, I will do that." So I thought that was going to be a one-time thing. I did, and the following year they had me do it, and 1 year came 2 years, a year came 3 years, 4 years. It started being more of a tradition than it did just a 1 year thing. And after that, I don't know what happened. I just wanted to start, experiencing other prides around the state and the cities, and I had that goal set of mine throughout my years. I was like, man, I just wonder how it would be to see other prides instead of, I love Columbus, but it would be nice to see and do a tour of it and see what's, how it is. But other than that, and the long story short too, because I know we have, back in 2019, I always went to all these prides, but I never went to a Cleveland Pride. And when I went to Cleveland's back in 19, and thank God I did, because the following year there was nothing. So I came to their march, and they had their banner for the Greater Cleveland LGBTQ community. And I said, I came to them and I asked them if they needed help carrying their sign in Cleveland. And the guy came to, and the guy said to me, like, "Oh, okay." He said, "I think we're good on that." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then I walked by, and then all of a sudden it's like, and he said, "Come back over here." And he's like, "I think we do need help."
Oh.
So I said, "Well, I will do it. I'll be honored to do it." And I got to do it. So
Nice.
that kind of put a little smile on my face that day. And actually, I was not smile, but kind of in tears, actually, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to do the Cleveland Pride banner, which I never got to experience the Cleveland Pride. So that was pretty cool and awesome.
So Mike, you're probably the only person in the world that has done held the banner for both Columbus and Cleveland. You're probably the only person. That's pretty cool. So Mike, tell us about the quilt, because you made the quilt.
Well, it's right here by me. I'm not going to bring it out right now because this thing is like 104 by 104. But I do have my mini quilts in back of me that I have made too over the years. So the quilt was an idea that I hung up shirts on back of me, like in t-shirt frames. And then I said, you know what? I think it'd be wonderful to have a quilt to make of my past t-shirts, my volunteer past t-shirts. It's like that'd be pretty cool. So I didn't realize how big that thing was going to be, and took it to I took it to the quilting company, Three Stitch Creations, and they she was really accepting and everything. I was nervous at first, but then she did it. Like, she made it and everything, and it turned out to be like wonderful. I picked out the rainbow edging of it, and it was awesome. It turned out very cool. I loved it.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then, Mike, lastly, just tell me a little bit about your superpowers to bring. You say bring my community together. What does that mean to you?
So let me put it this way. When I went to Cleveland a couple weekends ago, back in for their Pride Ride, I'm also a part of a club called Arctos Bear Group. So when I brought up in the meeting, you all should have a float. No, I'm sorry, not a float, but decorate your car. And say, okay, why don't you be in the Pride Ride to represent Cleveland's Pride Ride? And my friend said, okay, and they talked about it, and they decorated their car and everything, and that was pretty awesome that they participated. But what I'm trying to get at is, I told them about that. Like, I brought my community together, and I tried to bring my community together, coming to these events, coming to support the LGBTQ community. They took the advice and they did it. And that means a lot, because, again, I tried to bring my community together and everybody together. It's like, people need to know about these events that we have. People need to know that it's not only about, just showing up. It's part of being about history, and it's to me, I even get emotional sometimes when I see it, because it's like, it's awesome that we come together, and we need to these days. And yeah, with that said, I'm happy to help my community as much as I can, and I try. Thank you.
Well, listen, I just want to thank you. You are definitely Mr. Pride. You're Mr. Ohio Pride. I would guarantee that you've been to more prides than any other person in the state of Ohio. And as we've watched there go from just a handful of prides in the state to now there are dozens and dozens of prides.
I can't even name. I mean, that's how big it is now. It's like I can't go to everyone now, because it's like, whoa, that's how big it is now.
You physically can't do it, but it's wonderful that you show up, that you've put so much time into it and witnessed so many prides, Mike. And then the collecting all of the history. The quilt is gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. You did a beautiful job on it. It's a great representation of coming together of prides all over the state of Ohio. It's just a wonderful gift to the community. I know you've displayed it at many of the prides. You displayed it at Stonewall. But listen, I just want to thank you for your dedication to pride and to visibility, to making a difference, to bringing our community together. You are a very important part of that. And I want to thank you for sharing a little bit of you with us today.
Thank you very much, Tom. And I want to say real quick, this coming Saturday at the Hilliard Pride Party from noon to 3, that quilt will be displayed there inside the place that they're having the Hilliard Pride Party.
Nice. So, folks, if you want to see that quilt live, go to the Hilliard Pride Parade. They have a lot to celebrate this year because they got their ordinance passed. And really, frankly, the reason they got the ordinance passed is because of people like you, Mike, who show up, make a difference every day. So thanks, Mike. And remember, even when it's really damn cloudy out, the sun is always shining, and you are the sunshine, right?
Yes, yes, we all are. So
we all are. Hey, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing. I hope you have a wonderful day today.
Thank you so much, Tom. Thanks. This has been a pleasure. Thank you.